So today we'll be installing a Calmini 3-inch suspension lift kit. I couldn't really find any videos on this, so I figured I'd video what I do, so if anyone else out there is looking for anything, we got a point of reference, so kind of keep you updated as we go. Alright, so Calmini did not send any instructions with this. Guess I figure you'll just figure it out yourself. So I'm kind of piecing this together off of 2 different lifts to try to figure out what to take out and how to make this work. So first thing did, took these nuts off of that sway bar, drop that down, and then I'll hop up here and work on getting the upper ball joint nut off, and wherever that other one is, this little guy, tie right across so we can drop that lower control arm down. All right, update here. Pain in the ass. Sway bar is off, that lower ball joint's off, upper ball joints off. Swung the knuckle back. Make sure you support that lower control arm with the jack, because it's going to want to drop. And then they're big on making sure your brake lines and nothing's getting stretched out. So looks like next up is pulling the strut. So there's these 3 bolts up top here, and then the one here in the bottom, so we can get that spacer up. And then also need to pull this upper control arm off, and because Calmini doesn't want to make any ball joints, we need to press this ball joint out and put it on the new upper control arm. Taking out, lower down the lower control arm. Now I got to take out these 3 little ones. Leave that one, just these 3 little ones, so we can pull that out and then get that ball joint out. All right, little update for you. We got the strut pulled out, upper control arm pulled out, ball joints out. So we got the old one there. And then we did get the spacer bracket on top, installed the factory nuts here, and kind of guesstimated torque at 45 foot-pounds roughly. So I kind of just tried to put them back on the way it felt taking them off. So that's where we're at. Start putting things back together. One more thing, they did put in some instructions, left side, this side up. So there you go. Bushings. So I just grease them up and then throw them in here. Make sure when you install, you got your grease fittings pointing up. Got the upper control arm in. Torque those back bolts to 130 foot-pounds. And got the ball joint put back in. So we're moving. This thing it went south real fast. So putting this back in, these top bolts on the spacer are about an 1/8 inch bigger than the factory ones. They match the hole size. So you need to drill those out to 1/2 inch in order to get this tucked back up and in, because there's just not enough room to get past that lower control arm. So that took a minute to kind of get figured out. It was a little tight even so, but drill them upper ones out to 1/2 inch. You can get that back up and in, and then essentially it's just putting everything back together. But yeah, that part sucked. So one thing I didn't mention, you gotta loosen these lower control arm cam bolts. And you need to mark where that little notch is on the washer so you know how far to torque it down. So little detail that gives you that extra inch that you need to get that strut back in. Using the same ball joints like I am, there's a little ring bearing or ring clip up in there, so don't forget about that little guy. So fun fact, passenger side, replacing the upper control arm, there's some electrical in the way, so you gotta pull that bolt in the back there. Hopefully enough to get the bolt out. But you're gonna have to kick that left end up
try to tip it and just really work on it because you're pushing up against that. So, kind of sucks. All right, so we're starting on the rear. Got everything jacked up, supported, wheels off. First thing, I got mixed reports on this. They're saying to either pull the brake line clips off or remove those two right up there. Give it some slack as we're moving this up and down. So I'm probably going to pull those two and get those flexible and loose. Then I also need to pull these sway bar bolts down so that I can hang free while we're doing this adjustment. Got the shocks out. This one's kind of tricky. It's got this clip right here for the electrical, so you got to pop that out so you can get in that side. And this side, passengers, you got to pull the temp screws on this plastic so you can get back in there and reach that one. Alright, update here. You do want to drop your sway bar, otherwise you can't get the axle down far enough to get your blocks in. But essentially, you just support each side with the jack and then lower one side with the U-bolts undone so you can get your block in, and then you just cinch it back up. So you got to do one side then the other, and easy peasy. But you do want that sway bar down, otherwise it won't drop down far enough. Bilstein shocks in, torque those to 65 foot-pounds, top and bottom, and now to put that sway bar back, and then you're done. Unfortunately, that's where I got hung up, so this is going to take a while.